Welcome, Linda Rasch. I'm so glad to have you. Linda, you have been quite a path in your entrepreneurial life. How did you wind up where you are?
It has been a journey, Jody. I have gone through the whole gamut of experiences to realize that what I learned early on in my career is really true, that you do what you love and the money follows, and that it's okay to follow your heart and not just the money. It's the combination of the two that is so essential. The money follows when we are truly connected to what we love. So that, my journey was in corporate, doing communication consulting. I was born an artist, but I went into communication arts for the money. And I had a number of jobs where I kept, climbing the ladder and making more and more money, but I was getting more and more burnt out. And at a certain point, I just realized, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And I realized the only common denominator in the whole equation was me, and that I really needed to take a look at, what I was doing. And a vice president at the company I was at said, you really need to work with a career coach. And I did, and got clear about what I needed and wanted. And it really set this whole wheel in motion for the last, 10 years solidly as a coach and a communication consultant, working with individuals and small businesses to help them be clear on who they are and what it is that they love, and what their passion and purpose in the world is, and to express that powerfully so that they can prosper doing what they love.
And sometimes I think that there's so much pressure. We've talked about this before. I put a lot of pressure on myself to already be there, already know. And when I hear follow your passion, it will follow, it is so great to hear. And sometimes I cringe and what would you say to people who are still in that kind of cringing stage, though, that, oh God, now something else we got to do? I mean, how do we give ourselves permission when we have to pay the rent too?
Well, I don't think it's an either or. And that's the main thing I would want someone to know, that while you're doing whatever you're doing, and absolutely while you're doing whatever you're doing, I don't recommend just, cold turkey going into it. I kind of was thrust into it because I had a situation with a dying family member where I was so burnt out I couldn't go back to work. So I preemptively got into my career as a coach, as a consultant, on my own. But while you're still doing what you're doing is a great time to start to explore what it is that you love, what you're passionate about, the things that used to light you up that you couldn't wait to do that maybe you stopped doing. I know there was a period for me where I just stopped doing art, which is like shocking now, but my healing and my connectedness to who I really am and my passion was reignited when I honored that. And so I would want you, Jody, and anyone who's listening for whom that's a question, to know that it's okay to look at that. And in fact, it's really healthy to be doing and being connected to who we really are and what lights us up, and do more of it. Just add a little bit more in, or add a lot.
There's a lot of women that are listening today that are at that point. And one thing that you mentioned that I hope that people are really getting is that you are at a point where, what do they call it? The tires hit the road, where, you just, whatever happened, life just, that happened. That was a challenge. And a lot of my audience are coming to that. There's a new reality. Maybe they'll go to laptop business. Maybe they won't. And there's a bit of fear I hear. How would you help people, or what would you say to somebody who says, oh God, I don't want to move on, but I know I have to. It's thrown in my face. How would you help that person, or what would you recommend for them?
Well, I would want to have a conversation with that person and really just understand what's going on for them. Each person's situation is unique. There is no cookie cutter. There are some things that I see that work continuously in terms of exploration and support to navigate that. But it really starts with taking a step back and looking at what's happening right now in your life. uh, what is it that, what's the current state, and what is really the desired state? So often we know what we don't want, and if we only start there, we can very quickly see what's on the other side of that. It's hard to go to the other side of it when you're so in the depth of the, you know whatever is happening. And so to just really take an honest look at it and say, okay, is that what I want for my life? What do I really want? Um, and just start to move in the direction of doing, taking a look without judgment, with a whole lot of love, and recognizing that I really like to say that, I've heard this before, but your heart's desires are coming attractions from God.
Wow.
I really like that.
Love that.
Yeah, because I feel like each of us has something that's a gift that's on our heart, and what we're longing to do, that's kind of like an earnest desire, I like to call it. Um, we're not going to be led astray by that. But there's also that part of us that needs to be heard and acknowledged and know that it's safe, that, ecologically, there's alignment between the part of us that wants to keep us safe and the one that may seem not as practical. So there's, a whole lot of support and process, to go through there, but it doesn't have to be hard. I want you to know it isn't hard necessarily. It might not be easy, and it'll take a little bit of time, but it can be made simpler. And to be willing. If you're willing, then that's the first step.
I notice your beautiful paintings in the background. Could you share why you chose those paintings and what they
Mm.
relevance they share with you?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. These paintings are paintings that I intentionally created, being very open to letting my art tell me what it wanted. Sometimes there was an inquiry behind it, and the art answered. So, for example, this particular piece, I came with the question of, what is it, art, my art, that you want to be in the world? And this is what it revealed to me.
Would you share what it revealed to you?
Yeah, well, this is, as we look at this, I almost need a pointer here, but thankfully I have one. There's like this little receptacle here. So I feel like this is about being receptive to, to our higher selves, to intuition, to source, to creativity, imagination, being open and willing to receive guidance, and to have it come down what looks to me very much like a how, like in a Zen center, you might see these sort of chain link links coming down off of a drain pipe very artistically. This is what this looks like to me, these hearts that are linked, and it's this beautiful rain is coming down, and it's becoming like a copper conduit, and it's getting grounded, and it's coming back out and radiating out. So what this art is telling me is, what my art wants to be in the world is, it wants to be fully expressed, to let its love and light shine, and to just, let that out.
And that is so special. And I know it fits into a lot of the work you do as well. Would you like to share a little bit about that too? How that relates to your work?
Yeah, I would like to say that, when I was going through what I was going through with, reorienting myself to what I'm here to do, like, how did all my past experiences come together in service to a greater purpose? I heard a quote by a medical doctor who said that one of the most, in his research, one of the most stressful things that we can do is try to be something that we're not. And so everything I do is about helping my clients connect to their inner wisdom, to their heart, to get out of their head, where, we really get more of the same, spinning only what we've ever seen before, with our logical, rational thinking, and to tap into that inner knowing that's in the heart, and to really express that. And the painting, I work with them to paint the essence of what it is that is coming through them and that wants to be expressed. And I represent it in you could call it a passion portrait, or if they have a big vision that they're working on, that, what is this thing wanting to be in the world? It's a vision commission that I work with them on, to help them really connect and see it clearly. I think we're taught from an early age to just to be in the knowing mode, and not so much in the questioning and being open to receiving mode, the curiosity mode. But along the way, we need people who can help bolster us and lift us up on the journey, and that's what I believe is essential. I would offer you the opportunity to connect with me and have a conversation about where you may be at and what you may be seeking right now. So much of my work is around really taking that stock of what's happening and where we want to be. And when we're clear on that, the answers start to present themselves. So I do offer an opportunity to have that conversation, from my heart to your audiences, Jody, and to see what it is that they may be seeking. I have a number of different ways that I work with people to help them, create a clear picture of what it is that they're desiring in their dreams. If they are at a new point where they're switching gears, it's to dream a bigger dream. I can help at all those levels, and it starts with the conversation. So I'd invite you to pick, to give me a call, to text me, to email me, and let's set it up.
And all of Linda's information is included in this video, so you will be very able to contact her. Are there any parting inspirations, words you would like to share with our audience? You have lighted up my life today. I can tell you that much.
Thank you so much, Jody. You're a joy. Well, I would like to, like to put in a plug for you.
Oh.
You do this amazing thing with technology, your natural curiosity to help people, especially older people, with technology, to be able to connect and to be able to, be happier and more fulfilled in their lives because they can master this thing that's so essential in our lives, is something that you're just really amazing at. And I just really want to encourage anyone who is listening, who's like struggling with some facet of technology, to reach out to your friend and supporter here in Jody, because that's your genius. That's one of your pieces of genius. This is another one, of course, but I know that that's near and dear to your heart, especially for older people.